welcome back. So today we're doing a little bit of a silly tier list, kind of one that I just came up on the fly, but I'm going to be ranking all the bricks of Edison format, or aka the Garnets. So S tier is going to be the bricks that are the best to draw, and then the D is just going to be like the totally unplayable garbage. So these are the cards that I've chosen to rate. So let's just get into it. Okay. So I think I'll start off with value. So value is definitely a weird one. It can definitely brick, but at the same time, you do want to draw value with your grabber. So, and it's not like a total like brick. If you draw it, you can set it, you can attack with it, and I think that's probably in Blackwing's the only Garnet that they can play in the deck, unless they play something like Mistral, but that's not really standard. And then of course in value it's value. So I think I do have to put it in S tier because yeah, it's pretty lame to see like multiple values in your hand, but at the same time it facilitates your thing, you know, with grabber, with all that stuff. Next we have Arabellum. I think Arabellum is pretty good to draw, even if you draw them before you draw Rescue Cat. Like, the card just annoys people. I should know. I get very annoyed when I just pass my turn and I see a random Arabellum hit the field and snipe an important card. So, definitely one of the better bricks. Or Garnets, I should say. He's not really a brick. He's definitely more on the Garnet side than on the brick side. So, let's start with everyone's favorite spined Gilman. So, one of in Diva Hero, two of typically in Diva Hero Beat. Definitely an eyesore when you see like you're opening 6 cards and you have the Diva and then the 6 cards spined Gilman. You're like, ugh, why? But you know, he has like not too bad effect. Like, he's a 1700 on his own. He can like crash with a Dark Grepher. He can boost a Bryonic to 2700. Like, obviously it sucks when you only play one Gilman, so your Divas are just dead, but unless you can send them another Diva, of course, but you know, you can't make like an automatic level 5 synchro, but you know, he can come up, you know, like 3 Gilmans on the field is 7500. That's practically no TK. Not that you want to play 3 Gilman anywhere, but you know, he can be useful, but he's obviously not as good as like, it's not as good to like brick with him, like bricking with Arabellum or value. So I am gonna put him in A. Same goes for Malicious. Like, 1 Malicious is not the worst brick, 2 is pretty awful, but even with 2, you do have ways to kind of get around it with stacking for Plague. I think that's basically the only way you can put worst case scenario, I'll lure away the Maui, and then maybe like summon it back for turn later. So yeah, he's alright. Okay, next, let's do the frog cards. So like, there are a couple of frog cards that may not necessarily be bricks, but drawing them on their own is just not very good, and I think Unifrog and Flip-Flop are probably the ones most befitting the role of Garnet. So definitely think Unifrog is, while it can suck to draw him and you don't have any other frogs, I mean, if you do have like a Treeborn, then hard drawing him isn't the absolute worst. Obviously, you'd rather summon him off Substitute or search him off Dupefrog, but like, it's still like fine to draw him. Like, he's only a dead brick if you just have no other frogs, and then he just like he can attack directly, I guess, which even if you don't control a frog, which I guess is fine, but obviously not what you want to use him for. So I think we're gonna put him top of A. Like, definitely still, you can still get some value, a little bit of value, even if you just draw him by himself. A little bit more useful than Spine Gilman, at least. Like, Spine Gilman just gains like 400 attack, so Flip-Flop is a bit worse to draw on its own. Like, yeah, you can bounce, it counts itself, so you can bounce an opponent's monster to the hand, but generally not a card that you want to draw into. You definitely want to tutor the Flip-Flop, because unlike Unifrog, you do have to set him first, and then like they'll know that it's a Flip-Flop if you do like the normal summon and set things. Like, most decks are just not going to care about Flip-Flop unless it's paired with a Dupefrog or a Substitute on the field, so yeah, he's definitely not something you want to be drawing without searching him. So yeah, we'll put him there. Alright, next up, well, I guess I can safely say that drawing Stardust Assault Mode is absolute garbage and just completely unusable, so gotta put him in D. I think there's like a spell card in the Assault Mode archetype that can shuffle back an Assault Mode monster, but like, if you have to play those to justify like having some way to play Stardust Assault Mode in case you draw it, that's just like not good. And then if you want to play two Stardust Assault Modes, that's like you're just playing two bad cards if you draw them, so definitely safe to say it's not very good to draw. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, I'm gonna talk about Tongyo, but this applies to most of the fish monsters because you do not want to draw any of them. So Tongyo's bad to draw because he's just like a 1350 guy who's literally vanilla. Royal Swamp Eel, not very good to draw because he needs to be paired with a fish to synchro with him, and 1700 is not too impressive. Oystermeister, not really useful either, but a little bit better than drawing Royal Swamp Eel and Tongyo because, you know, it gets a token if it gets destroyed or sent to the graveyard, I think. And Fishbrook's probably the best one to draw out of the fish garnets, but yeah, just not very good to draw. Like, not much else to say there. Like, it's kind of like what the fish deck revolves around. You have coelacanth summoning all the guys that you don't ever want to draw. So that's basically it. Norlerus, yeah, cannot be summoned at all by its traditional method in the typical Norlerus decks unless you tech in like a random light fairy. But its best use is just going to be like trade-in fodder or griffin fodder. So, yeah, we'll probably put it in with Takio. Norlerus is kind of on the same line as Amaryllis. Like, definitely don't want to draw it. You would rather mill it, but it is still like trade-in food. It's like discard trap food. So it's what's worse, drawing Amaryllis or drawing a fish? Drawing a fish is probably way worse. Like this is like it's still bad to draw, but like you know, could be worse. Titanial, similar line as Amaryllis. It's just definitely not good to draw, but unlike Norlerus, you can actually summon it from the hand by just tribute summoning it, so it's a little bit of a better Garnet. Like, and you can also tribute summon Amaryllis, so, but Titanial's effect is way better than Amaryllis' on-field effect, so I'm inclined to put her a tier above these guys. Okay, now we've got the Lightsworns, we've got Wolf, and this might be a bit of a wild take, but I also put Garoth as a brick / Garnet because opening Garoth is just terrible. Like, he's vanilla. The only thing he has going for him is 1850, but you really just want to summon him off Lumina, or just like maybe search him later on if you got like another Lightsworn in play, or summon him back off like Glorious Illusion if you play it. Obviously, he's a little better than Wolf in that he can actually be normal summoned, but Wolf has like can just, you know, blow people out with like just spamming wolves, and you know, he's 2100, he beats over most normal summons in the format, so yeah, I think Wolf is gonna be an S tier Garnet. Garoth, probably better to draw Garoth than Spine Gilman though, that's for sure. Blood, like, yes, he is a searchable card and kind of important for ultimate offering, but he's just like, when he's in the hand, it just feels so awkward. Like, I know Beast Mode used to play Ill Blood a lot, and then he just cut it because he got tired of seeing it in the hand all the time when he was just using it as a lure food. So it just, like, when you have it in the hand, it just feels like you're automatically like playing with one less card, unless you somehow get to Gemini summon him, which in the standard zombie build it doesn't happen too frequently. Broken if you do get him off, but until you do that, he's just sitting there in the hand, just chilling with his 2100 attack self. Like, I guess summoning off Pyramid Turtle is cool, but like I said, this is about not drawing. This is about cards you don't want to see in the hand. So, kind of on the also not as versatile as malicious. Because malicious is like synchro, give you a tribute, it'll blood just like you gotta do zombie stuff. So yeah. We'll just put him at the top of B. And then we got Blue Eyes. So kind of this is gonna be for the Dragon Turbo deck, like some people say like prime material, it's more of a brick. I don't really think so, but it can drawing prime material can be kind of awkward. Like I was supposed to have a picture here. I did actually put a picture here, but it did not save, so blame tier maker for that. But if I were to rank prime material, I'd probably put it around 8 because you can actually just tribute it and be okay. There are some situations where you can't really. You need like an actual combo piece rather than prime material. So I do get why people don't like drawing it. Blue Eyes, yeah, it's big vanilla, but very important in Dragon Turbo. It's trade in food, like having it in the hand isn't the worst because it's a dragon discard, so if you have like magical stone, multiple blue eyes, like it gives you like, it doesn't make you go neg as much if you have blue eyes in the hand. And also like with Tragodia, you can pitch blue eyes into powerful level 8 monsters, Absolute Zero, JD, stuff like that, so it's not too bad having a blue eyes in the hand. And sometimes you want the blue eyes in the hand, maybe for something like just normal summoning a Kawaki Mirdrago and, you know, just having a blue eyes to reveal. Yeah. It's not a bad brick. I will put him above Gareth. Flamville Magician, that's just basically the de facto Garnet in the Flamville deck. Like, drawing him, there's pretty much no value in drawing him at all. Like, has like a random effect that it boosts ally of justice monsters, so if you have a Catastor on the field, it'll boost the Catastor, but on the whole, doesn't really do much on its own. 1400, terrible into recruiters. So, well, we'll put him in C. He is a tuner, so I don't know if he's like bottom of B, top of C. We'll put him top of C, because Flamvells are a little mid. And then similar to decks that use like, decks like Flamville, they use the GK engine, Gravekeeper, Descendant. Not a card you want to draw in the hand. A little bit better in like pure Gravekeepers, since you're not just like totally screwed if you draw a Descendant, because he's just going to be like popping all your cards. So Descendant's a little bit better because you can still use the destruction effect even if you hard draw him. You have other GKs, so we'll put him up here. Wyvern, pretty stable in like the Disaster Dragon decks. Not so much in Dragon Turbo. Like, yes, you'd rather send the Wyverns off with Future Fusion, or just milled him, but he's fine to draw. Like, he's at 1800, it's not too bad. Like, still banish it for a red ice, summon a red ice from your hand, although that's not super ideal, but it can happen, so. There are worse Garnets, but I think toss-up between whether I put him, if he's better or worse than Gareth. I don't know, I kinda like Wyvern better. Okay. have Fortress in the Grave, then drawing it's fine. So we'll put him above Ill Blood because he doesn't have to be summoned, which is nice. Like he's just a monster reborn for Fortress, so that makes him not as bad, but definitely a break in the early games. Gajiltron, definitely Garnet, because even though you can summon him even if you do draw him, because it says like from hand, deck, or graveyard, you still don't want to draw it anyway, because it's just like one less card that you have to work with if you're playing like Gear Down, Field Spell deck. So, but it does have it going above Titanium in that he can still be summoned even if you hard draw him, which is nice. You know, imagine if Lone Fire said like you can summon plants from the hand. Like Titanium would just be way up here, which he's not. So she gets to stay here. Gladiator Beast Secutor. So, in a way, most of the Glad Beasts are Garnets because you want to tutor them from the deck. Like, I think Laquari is probably the only one you want to draw or hard draw, but everything else you'd rather just grab from the deck, like Murmillo, Retiari, Bestie. But Secutor just has to be the worst Garnet of the bunch because he's literally just a 400 guy if you draw into him and don't summon him off the Test Tiger. So he's definitely gonna be like, God, I almost want to put him after below Tongyo and then the fish. Yeah, I think that's where he's gonna go. It's just so bad to draw him. A big piece golem. This is like the guy that you send on the guy using Dark Calling decks. He's basically like you can normal summon without turning him into a control monster. So he's like a Cyber Dragon normal summon. So not like too bad if you drop at the same time. He doesn't really do anything. He's just a 2100 meter. So here. At least you can summon him and not you can't summon the Titanium. And then the last card I kind of just put as an alien shock trooper. So he has the same stats as Gemini Garnet, same attack, and he's also vanilla. But like, I guess the joke is that a lot of the alien cards suck, but the vanilla Garnet is probably the best one. So we'll put him here, you know, just to be nice. But yeah, I think that's, yeah, I also want to put Gemini Soldier here, but yeah, the tier listing is being stupid, so I couldn't save Gemini Soldier, but I'll just say this, like, he's probably somewhere here, like, ideally you want to summon Gemini Soldier off Reinforced Truth, and like, if you draw him in the hand, you basically have to have, like, Supervise and Ultimate Offering, but by himself he just doesn't really do much. You have to, like, wait a turn to actually get his effect off, so it's probably going to be somewhere here. So, yeah, this is my Edison Garnet tier list. So, let me know what you think. I'm sure I'm going to get quite a few disagreements of certain cards, but you know, that's how these tier lists are sometimes. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.